If you've been on that hamster wheel of trying to get sales through social media, this is going to be a huge sigh of relief. Not that social media isn't important for brand awareness, but frankly, all these platforms are trying to keep users on their platform, not to your links to buy from you. That's why the steps we're going to talk about today will take customers right to your checkout cart so you can make money. High five to that. And the way you get started is simple. Ask yourself 2 questions. Who is looking to buy the thing that you sell? And what are they literally typing into Google to find it? This is step number 1. Fill your website with the best keywords. These magical phrases can be so easy to overlook because it's such a basic principle. But it really is the most important part of your strategy, even though it can be easy to forget how much it contributes to your sales. Because here's the truth. They are the number 1 reason that people who want to buy from you will find your website. I remember years ago when I first made this shift in my own business. I had been creating so much content for social media and throwing so much at ads just to try and get people's attention. Honestly, it was exhausting. That's why I decided to give optimizing my website for the right keywords a try. I didn't really expect it to work that well because nobody talks about it, but I was willing to give it a try. And to my surprise, as I did, people started coming to my website. They were just finding me through searches without me having to chase after them. And honestly, it blew my mind and transformed my business. Now, while there are tools like Google Keyword Planner and SEMrush to help you research keywords, I've got a better starting place for you. Get a piece of paper and write at the top, what makes my audience buy from me? Then, underneath that, list words that describe what you offer, aka buying words. For example, let's talk through what you might list for a health coaching business. There are 2 avenues that you could take with your keywords. First is product keywords, like find a health coach, because that's exactly what you offer. Then list informational keywords, questions that your ideal clients might have about your industry. Some examples might be how to cut sugar or best foods to eat to lose weight. At this point, you can use the tools I mentioned earlier to confirm which keywords people actually use. But I've also got a pro tip for you from now many years of experience driving traffic to my website. It's hard to get attention if you're shooting for the same keywords that, say, the New York Times is targeting. Instead, go for the lower hanging fruit, keywords that are still getting searched but don't have these big name websites come up when you type them in. I call this the Goldilocks zone of keywords. Not too competitive that you'll never be able to rank for them, but not so obscure that nobody's searching for them. Just right. But even thinking about focusing on your website might be stressing you out because you have this underlying fear that you need to be doing social media because everybody is doing it. Hey, I get it. I mean, I have also been doing social media for many years, so let's just first acknowledge that it is a big investment of your time and energy. But here's the problem with social. Even if you're posting on Instagram every day, it's not building a web of credibility for you. It's like when a friend recommends a coffee shop to you. You are going to be much more likely to visit it than if you just randomly drove by and had nothing to decide on except what that shop looks like from the outside. When you strengthen your search engine optimization, your SEO, it's like a bunch of friends recommending your business. Essentially telling Google, my coffees and pastries, aka your services and products, are delicious. You should definitely stop by. Whereas with social media, it's often more of that drive-by strategy, where you're just hoping that someone sees your shop and pops in. So the best strategy to make sure that Google and other search engines, including AI-driven ones, are recommending your business is with step number 2, links from other websites that point back to your website. This tells Google, you are legit. Let's rank you higher and get you seen more. This way, when your ideal clients type in those keywords, your site is one of the first ones to come up. Social media just doesn't have anything that gives you this comparable kind of boost. But I know this is way easier said than done. So let's make it super simple for you by giving you my 3 top tips for getting started. This first one is my favorite because you're essentially killing 2 birds with 1 stone, creating some awesome content while getting some of the best backlinks possible. by being featured on someone else's podcast. Just borrow the way I got featured on the So Money podcast. First, I researched podcasts with an audience similar to mine. Then I pitched the host with an email including 3 high-value topics that I could do an episode on. You'd be so surprised how many podcast hosts are grateful that you do this, because having to come up with weekly content is hard. And this way you're creating a win-win for them and for you. This next strategy is the exact same concept as with podcasts, but with a different medium: blogging, where you write content for other websites to get a link in return. And you can double down on this with strategy number 3. Reaching out to other bloggers with a similar audience or traffic size to you and collaborating with them. All this being said, you might be thinking, how is this escaping the never-ending cycle of having to create more content because I'm still creating more content? This is where the benefits of creating content for your website far outweigh the benefits of creating content for social. First of all, you own your website. You do not own Instagram. If Instagram were to disappear tomorrow, poof, there goes all of the content that you have worked so hard to build. That alone makes what you post on your website way more valuable to you and your business as an asset. Which means that for step number 3, you want to be focusing on publishing high-value blog posts on there. And here's a trick, I guess, although I don't love using that word, for making this as high value as possible for you. I like to call it the golden rule of blogging. Essentially, treat your reader how you want to be treated. Create posts that you would want to read. It's a bit of a different attitude than creating content for social media, because instead of focusing on trends or chasing that quick like or comment, it's forcing you to go deeper as both a creator and a consumer, and also create something that lasts. Seriously, I wrote this blog article years ago. I honestly can't even remember when, it's been so long. And while I do continue to update it to keep it fresh, it's not that much work, but it continues to bring in lots of views and sales. Do you have any social media posts that have brought you that kind of evergreen traffic? If you're like me, the answer is heck no. That's why making great blogs on your website is so important. Plus, you don't have to figure this out alone. I created a free masterclass on the simplest blogging system to help you make that change from ongoing social media to evergreen content on your own blog. And the best part about this system is that you will not have to burn yourself out writing endless blog posts, seriously. You can start with just 1 blog post a month. This is the exact strategy I used to go from absolutely no blog traffic to making multiple 6 figures from my blog alone within just 2 years. But there's one more piece to this puzzle that you need to truly skyrocket your business. Because just bringing readers to your website does not equal sales. You also need a way to transfer your readers to a more dependable sales system where you can stay in touch and let them know more about your product. Enter your email list. By converting people to your email list, you are way more likely to make sales than on social media. Just look at this comparison and let those hard numbers motivate you to do step number 4. Optimize your website for maximum email list signups. And by the way, this does not need to be complicated. In fact, the strategy can be quite simple. First, create an opt-in form for your email list. This is where you give something valuable like a great PDF or video in exchange for someone's email. Then you're going to place opt-in forms throughout your blog posts. I do this at least 3 times per blog. After that, all you have left is to keep sending out good email marketing that helps your readers and lets them know more about your products. Do you see how that's so much more intentional and direct than just posting on social media? But to be clear, I'm also not saying to never go back to social. It's just that you won't have to depend on the ups and downs of social media because you've built a separate and solid system that's consistently making you sales. I will walk you through that complete system in the free masterclass I mentioned. You can sign up for it at luisazhou.com/growth, and I'll pop it below for you as well. Enjoy.